Welcome, everybody, to the Week 15 eviction ceremony. Let's go over a quick recap of everything that happened. In part one, cups on a wall, Seb emerged victorious, locking himself a spot in part three. Then in the competition sorting, Cody won part two against V, locking V in as the first nominee and giving Cody a spot in part three. And just now, in quotes, Seb has emerged victorious, being the most powerful head of household this season. I've given each nominee a moment to pitch their case off recording, but we're going to give them one more chance to plead their case as to why Seb should take them to the final two. V as part one loser, you're up first.
Oh, it's not alphabetical for once. Um, First of all, Cody, I love you to death. Like, I hate having to campaign against you at this moment. I would have had the similar situation with Seb. The both of you are such incredible people, and I'm so happy to have played the game with you. No matter what happens tonight, I'm happy with the game I played. I think the three of us played killer games. We made it to the point that no one else is able to. Some people multiple times this season. Um, I I've already said my arguments. I think that you have more lottery votes against me. I think Cody has more votes with you that are up in the air. I think multiple people are just straight up not happy with me and the game I played. Um, while I think they could be more so with you. I get your fears, but I think the cons for my game outweigh the pros. And I've been very self-conscious about my game for a while now. And I just don't think it's up to the par that it is Cody's game. So if you want to fight against the best, take Cody. If you want to go head over heart, take me. I will respect whatever decision you make, and you know that I love you to death. And also give Rick for me. If you do vote me out, Rick for me and unplugged.
Thank you very much, V. Cody, you're up.
Well, I can't guarantee any rigging because that would be unethical, but no. Um, I've said a lot of what I've wanted to say. One thing that I haven't is I'm just really proud of the three of us going from a position that was ultimately really doomed at Final Seven, um, to a spot where each of us has played a fairly different game in order to get here. And for that, like I have a lot of happiness for that. Um, I didn't anticipate being able to get to this point, mostly because I get where I usually get in this game. Um, I think, um, I don't know why the words just aren't coming to me. I think one thing that Jacob said while he was speaking that really stands out to me, um, is power, because I think that that's been construed in a lot of different ways throughout the season. Um, there have been times where very early on, the likes of like Jonathan and John and Jennifer had immense amount of power, and then the so to speak underdogs started to take it away and then really try to figure out like who it was. And I think the thing in all of that is people were always discounted with the power that they had or they didn't have. And I think that some people's power that they've had throughout the game has been more clear cut to the jury, such as those of Julia, those of Esme with social capital, those of Joanne with just a lot of connections, those with the comp prowess of a hyena that runs through the night like V. Um, but I think within that, there have been a couple people that have been underestimated in this game. And when I look at the jury and who has been the most underestimated, I would point to Issa, I would point to Seb, and I would point to myself. Um, I think that those people, if they got their way to the end, would have to do the most work to just kind of lay their game out to the jury. Um, I think if someone like Joel got to the end, I know a lot of people were like, I already know why people would vote for him or not. Um, and that was a really big concern for a lot of people. Same could be with Timmy. And if we're just looking at like overall game transparency, I don't feel like that applies to me as it does to my counterpart with long hair that sits multiple time zones away, but in this moment in time, right beneath me on a Teams call. Um, I hope that continues to sit right beneath me on the, well, not right beneath me on the placements. I'd like to be two spots higher, but I digress. Um, and I'm really not trying to be emotional because I want to appeal to logic and I don't want to appeal to emotion. But I feel as I've said my logic, and I think my last thing is I just don't want to pick up the phone to a deadline in the jury house. This has been an absolute blast with both of you. Um, I see Grace in the background, legend.
Thank you.
Um, I know in my heart what I think is the best decision. The issue is it's not my decision to make. And ultimately, whatever happens, I can't speak for V because he's muted, but if I do go to final two, I'm at peace with it. If I get voted out, I'm at peace with it. But I would say that just with the time that you as an individual will have to take to lay your game out to the jury, um, I think the jury has very little understanding of how I've played this game, and there's a lot of people who equate power with comp wins and the ability to do stuff. And ultimately, the first time I used power in any sort of meaningful way was Final Four Veto when I chose to keep you safe. Um, this has been an absolute pleasure, but I believe in my heart of hearts, um, you have had a lot more opportunities to demonstrate power, which can then be perceived as strategic game, which I know that you have better social connections than I do, just given my time. So, I just wanted to say thank you both. And if you vote me out, you're also voting out this little baby. And if that happens, she might be pissed.
Thank you, Cody. Seb, as the final head of household, it is your responsibility to cast your vote for one of Cody or V. Whomever you vote for will be the ninth and final member of the jury. The other will be your opponent in the season six finale. Seb, decision is yours.
I feel like I'm back at week three veto when I'm bawling my eyes out in front of the rest of the cast and saying that this was a terrible game and I really didn't experience like
There's nothing to
but
bawl
the
about.
but the fact is I told this to Prod, I've told you guys countless times the amount of excitement I have to hop on calls, game calls, just to talk to you guys every day has been fantastic. That being said, that's crazy that we secured an HOH in 4 minutes. Does have to disband here. I think about specifically two quotes in this game. I think about a quote I said last round, and I think about a quote Timmy said at Final Five. Um, Timmy said something as he was leaving, and he said that something along the lines of, the bold players will keep being bold, but there are people lurking in the shadows. And I think about what I said last round, and I said that comps don't scare me. I know what I've done with my comps, and I know what others have done with theirs. That being said, for the last time, I have to evict you, Cody. I'm sorry.
Cody, with Seb's vote to evict, you have been evicted from Hypnotic Big Brother, Saloon, Showdown. Cody, if you have any final words, we only got a minute, but
I love you.
what is yours?
I love you so.
I don't know why you two are the ones crying. I'm the one that's not winning the prize money of $0 because production's cheap as fuck. Um, I'm gonna be so real. This is the first time I've ever played like this. Just being in the middle and effectively a floater, and holy fuck, was it so much fun! I um I am honestly like I'm so used to being in V's position, but it was so fun to be on the other side of
I'm
it.
used to be in your position.
But
I'm in my position.
I think the only thing that's going to truly devastate me is if I get into jury chat and see everyone saying, we would have voted for you. And like, I don't think they would have. I'm going to be so real. And unless it's tomorrow night, I can't make tomorrow night. But like, if I get to finale and it's like, I find out otherwise, I'll have a laugh about it then. But this game has been so much fun. And I just want to see you two have the best winner because it can't be roast beef.
Good
I
evening,
love you,
Cody.
Cody.